ASL to English pottery. So recently I just bought a condo, and it's kind of a funny story because I kept on saying, okay, next year later, I'll do it. And then it actually finally happened, but it's kind of funny, so I'll explain how it happened and everything in between. So I lived in this area for about 10 years, and I've, looked around and loved the area and stuff, and I was looking into purchasing a condo, and so I was like, well, I have friends that have bought a house, condo, an apartment, so I kind of went and talked to each of them, was like, okay, so, talk to them about buying their house, and talk to another person about buying their condo, and another person about buying their apartment, and I kind of just was looking around, seeing what I could buy. So I was looking around and just, house searching and stuff like that, and I'd come across one street that I really fascinated with, and I really liked the environment and the area it was in, and it was just a really nice street. And so, I was like, maybe I'll think about it. We'll see. Maybe it'll happen. So So I went into many different houses and condos and apartments and kind of, looked around and saw if I'd like everything and like in that specific area and stuff. And so there was this one time I was looking in the newspaper and I noticed an article and I liked it. It was a condo and the cost didn't cost too much. And so, I said I'd take a look at it and maybe we'd go see. So I drove around looking for this house, and I came across it. And it was on that street, the one that I really liked and before, the one with the nice environment and the area was really good. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully when I go in, it'll still be just as nice, and I'll still like it. So I went inside, and I loved it. I liked everything about it. It had lots of windows, and windows are really important to me to have. And so I went around and looked. Everything was great. So I had to, talk with the real estate person and the real estate agent and, see what, the cost was and stuff like that. And so, they had said I had offered 10,000 less, and the real estate agent really wasn't sure. She's like, well, I'll have to go ask him. And he was like, okay, go ask, but like $10,000 less than what's being offered right now. So when the real estate agent came back, she said, you know what? Actually, the owner will accept $10,000 less. And I was like, seriously? Like $10,000 less? Because that's what I asked. And she said, yeah, they'll accept it. And then on top of that, it was like a 7% interest was a really low interest rate. So So, 7.5% is like really low for an interest rate. Usually you're used to seeing like 10, 11, maybe 12% for interest rate, and that's kind of high. And so, I'm thinking maybe, okay, if it's lower, maybe they're going to increase it as time goes on, but that was such a good price. But I just said, you know what, like it's fine, like I want this condo, so we're just going to go ahead with it. Then the next step, I had to go to the bank and get okayed for a loan and stuff like that. And so I got an okay, and then they went and did my credit check. You're talking about, and they're keep nitpicking at the smallest little things. Like 5 different things, 10 different things. They just kept nitpicking at stuff. Small information from like 2 or 3 years ago even. So I had to go home and collect certain information and give it to the bank so that they could check it all out. And oh, wow, it was such a long process. So after talking with the bank and rolling over it and going over all this kind of stuff with my credit check and over like the specific things they wanted, it came down to one last thing that they kept nitpicking at. So what they decided is that I needed to pay 5 months in advance. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, so 5 months in advance, that's really a lot. So I contacted my brother and my sister and my mom, and we talked about, oh, can I borrow some money, and it still had some money left, and they were like, oh no, it's fine, like we'll accept what you have. So I said, oh, great, thank you. So then I collected the money and went to the bank, and they gave me the okay, and I was so excited, but I had to wait for about 2 months to hurry, go on, fine, and finish and give them all my stuff and finished and moved, and that was the end of it.